This is a Hope 103.2 podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Troubleshooting. Hello, it's Sam with you, and with us is Sharma. Hello.
With us?
With us. We are here together.
You and your multiple personalities.
Oh, there's people. Everyone listening, you are with us. Hello, Sharma. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
I am here and tired, but we shall do today.
Yeah.
And
We
guess,
shall do the thing.
speaking of voices,
Wow.
Hello. Are we still calling our listeners
You're
troubleshooters?
back.
I am back.
he's back.
Where'd
I missed
you
all
go,
of one
bud?
episode.
Yeah, I know, but we missed you.
Was
you
it
missed
one?
2 episodes.
Where did I go?
No. We had
Oh no, it was
That's
you and
Sharma
yeah.
was in Japan, and we had Chris Jolly. Thank you, Chris, in for that episode. And then you were off working somewhere. You were in Queensland or
Yeah.
something. And so Sharma and I just did an episode, which I just have to say, probably my favourite episode.
The feedback I have consistently gotten is it was the best episode we've
Yeah.
ever released.
Yeah, it has
There's
nothing.
a common denominator.
Nothing to
Yeah.
do with the fact that
Missing-
you weren't there for
yeah.
that one, Jay. But speaking of things that we're not there for, what are you talking about today, Jay?
I'm talking about times that I was not woken up in the middle of the night by a smart bed that lost internet connection.
Okay, so you're going to be talking about sleeping.
I'm going to. I love sleeping. Sleeping is my third favorite thing to do.
I don't want to know what the other two are. Sharma, what are you
Eating and exercising.
Good. Sharma, what are you doing? What are you talking about today?
Not that. I'm talking about charities because there is a whole big ethical issue around using images of children, you know, when you're asking people to sponsor a child. But, like, is it any better if they use AI instead of actual children?
I am intrigued for that
Yeah.
discussion. And I'll be talking about space and space junk, and I'll throw on Elon Musk for good measure as well.
As the space or the junk? No, that's rude.
No, yeah. But we're going to start off with Sharma. Shall we hear what's happening with charities? Good things, I hope.
When it comes to charities and the way that they sort of elicit emotion from people and get people to give money, a lot of it does have to do with imagery that they use. So, for example, they will go to Bangladesh and find a random child who is obviously going through a tough time, take a photo of them. In the moment, don't do anything to help, but then, you know, use the photo to tell people in other parts of the world, hey, feel free to sponsor this child, please, because this kid is obviously, you know, in need. Something that a lot of people will refer to as poverty porn, which is basically just the overuse of these images to elicit an emotion. And just like I would say kind of gross misuse. Because, you know, think back to the old days where you'd get infomercials or like the commercials from charity organizations and they had, you know,
Yeah, starving
children covered in flies and snot, and it was just like it was meant to shock you,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, pull the heartstrings, make you
Yeah.
more likely to open your wallet.
Yeah.
Sure. So
Well-
I think that can be. I mean, you need to see the imagery to justify why you would be
Yeah.
giving your money to it. But
I
I understand there's an ethical issue there. But you're saying that there's something tech related here.
Yes, of course. So now in place of photos of actual starving children, charities are using AI-generated images of children in the same circumstances. So then that implies the type of look that they're going for in terms of what kind of poverty they want to, you know, showcase to the world.
Oh, no.
Because you'd have to type in, you know, generated a photo of a little child of this complexion in this type of background with this on their face.
Yeah.
Like there's just, it's so specific that it's kind of, I would say, a little bit gross for these charities to be doing that.
Yeah.
I can loosely understand if they're saying, hey, we want to protect the faces of the actual children that are going through, poverty. But still having that same image that they're trying to, put out,
Yep.
it just goes to show that when they're going to these countries, they're looking for a specific thing to then be like, come and help us. And then it opens up this whole big can of worms. I have a tough time with some charities because I'm like, where's the money actually going? And that's a whole different conversation. It's like very nuanced.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little bit exploitative to not only have images of kids, but then to also have images of not real kids in the place of actual. Like it's just messy.
I saw an ad the other day, like an advertisement, I think it was on Facebook or whatever, and it was like the classic Ben, little asterisk next to Ben, has been going through a tough time at school, not able to eat breakfast, can't focus in school, dropped out, blah, 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 blah. And then the photo was very obviously AI generated, and there was a disclaimer at the bottom of it saying this photo was generated to protect Ben, asterisk, not real name. Like, so hang on, so the name's not real.
Yeah.
The photo's not real.
Yeah.
Elements of the story are probably like not necessarily
anonymity.
accurate because they're trying to, protect identities and whatnot. At what point do we just say the whole story is made up? I'm donating to a fictitious person that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I think
I get why they're doing it, but also, at what, like, where's the line between fact and fiction here?
So on a previous episode of Troubleshooting, we spoke about models and the similar line of using AI to basically replace the need for having models.
Yeah.
Now, I think we landed on that we shouldn't be using AI for basically destroying an industry.
Yeah.
It's kind of where we landed.
So are you saying AI is stealing starving children's jobs?
Well, my goodness, that's one way of looking at that statement. That was definitely not the desired outcome from my perspective.
No.
But the point. Now you throw me off, Joe. I suppose the point of that is that okay? So if we're generating pictures to evoke a certain emotion, that's not harming children.
But I think it's manipulative.
It is. Okay, so I think there's two fronts. There's the is this exploiting children in a poverty situation or a vulnerable situation? That's a bad thing. If the answer is yes to that, don't do that.
I guess.
But the other side of that is how is it twisting people's emotional response to these things? I mean,
just stepping past the emotional manipulation conversation, because that's what advertisement is. You are manipulating your emotions, whether it's to buy a product, whether it's to do a thing, whatever.
Fair
Stepping
point.
past that,
yeah.
I guess the line is: are they exploiting children, or are they trying to shed a light on here is an actual thing? We for me, the line is: am I going into a shanty town in the Philippines built right next to a garbage dump, taking photos and then uploading them in order to bring people's attention to the fact that this town exists, that these children are in need? Or am I going in and then I'm touching them up? I'm taking photos of kids and then I'm making them look really sad. I'm dimming the lighting, and that's where it starts to go from that I'm actually trying to shed light on a situation that is real and I want to bring people's attention to it, to I'm manipulating the photo, the footage for that emotional response, and I'm changing things.
Yeah.
But then, okay, as if I was someone who was looking to give to a charity organization, whatever, I would want to some degree have a little bit of confidence that they've actually been to the location that they're saying that they've been to.
100%.
And if they're generating these images with AI, who's to say that they're not just taking my money? And because there's no child,
it's that trust factor.
They don't have to give the money to anyone. Not saying that I don't believe that they should have actual images of children, because that's I think it's kind of sad just in terms of once I don't know. I think
tricky. Okay, so
I disagree with that a little bit. I grew up in a family that always had a sponsor child. And so having the photo on the wall, we kind of knew that for every $10 we gave, not all of that went directly into this kid's pocket.
Yeah.
It went towards programs in the area. It went towards, the logistical costs of running a worldwide charity.
Which is all part of that.
Yeah, so
donation.
I'm not arguing that necessarily, we were sitting there thinking every single dollar went directly to this child. But having the kid's photo on the wall humanized it and actually gave us a person that we were supporting.
Because that's Compassion, which is a fantastic organisation, and
actually it wasn't at first; it was a different one. But my parents actually have two on the go now.
A Compassion child. So basically, it's actually a very weird experience to go to the Compassion website, because you're effectively shopping for a child to sponsor. And I use the word shopping because it's like you're going to an online retailer and you're scrolling through all of these children, and it actually makes you a little bit sad. It makes me feel sad because I'm like, look at all of these kids that need help. And they're all real pictures of them. But I think the whole point of that is it's meant to build a desire for you to help.
But I will admit, from what I've seen of Compassion, they don't use the shock factor photos.
No, they
like
don't
they're
seem
actual
to.
like legitimate photos of a kid as a kid.
But there's
not-
also a communication between the people that are
Yeah.
sponsoring these children and
You
the
write
children.
them letters.
Yeah. So they facilitate that, so you actually know that what you're giving is coming, like you're not receiving it back, but you know that it's a real thing. It's not just going somewhere into the ether.
And they're also a little bit more upfront, at least in my experience with Compassion. They're a lot more upfront on here's what your money went towards. You know, it's not just we gave the kid $5 this week. It was the money that you've gone has also gone on programs in the kids area.
Well,
and
that's it.
Here
as
is
well.
the direct impact
Because
that those programs have
a
had.
charity-
Like they're feeding that info back.
Yeah, well, charities should be disclosing
100%.
their income and what they actually spend their money on. So between that information that's publicly available for charities and them telling you what they're doing, you have a fair degree of confidence that your donation is actually going to the child and the services that surround it.
And just by the
Okay.
by, specifically for Compassion, not that we're hawking them specifically.
I think they're a great organisation.
Yeah,
This
there
is
is a
good
book
I'm
out-
talking good things for them.
There is a book about the founder that talks about when they first started doing their thing. I can't remember his name. But it's a fascinating book. And it talks about they had a major issue with people not doing the right thing, people not, telling the full story, directors of orphanages, basically being lied to about what was going on with the money. And they talked about the whole story, how that played out, what they did, and now what they've done to prevent that from ever happening again.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
yeah, the right charity with the right intentions can do phenomenal things, even when evil things happen. and
But they're
people
not
see
using AI to create
that
these
we're
photos.
aware of. Yeah.
Well,
But
Okay.
sorry, yeah, Sharma.
that's a big tangent, but back to what you're saying, Sean.
Back to the AI generated.
My thing is, I didn't want to go on this tangent that I'm now going to go on.
Okay.
But I think it's sort of important to why I think that there's an issue with this whole AI image generation, whatever.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of times, maybe unwittingly, these charities, there's a point of intersectionality where it then creates like a sense of otherness, where it's like little children in third world countries, they're usually people of color. They're usually, they have a specific look to them.
Sure.
And I remember growing up Black when there was all these images of like little African kids, snotty nose on the TV, flies around them, blah, blah. Like you could tell that people would then look at you and be like, are you okay? Do you have enough money? Like there's just a lot of, those images evoke a certain emotion that you then attach to that specific color or specific race or whatever.
Right.
So I think the issue then becomes the fact that they're manually typing in, generate this specific look of a kid.
Yeah.
But it's like there's poverty in other countries. There's poverty in Australia. There's just, like
There is.
too,
and
it's revealing issues of race or like what we think being poor looks like or like being in poverty looks like. And I can understand that, you can. If you go to certain parts of the world, you will find that specific image of poverty actually existing. But it's just, I don't like the idea of them like actively creating this.
No, I know what you're saying. And
Yeah.
I've got two things which doesn't really actually help with what you've said. But disproportionately impoverished nations are places where people are not Caucasian white.
But that's because a lot of the times those are the images that we're being shown.
This is true.
You go to the States, you will find poverty.
You will.
You
but
know?
Can I also interject?
Yeah.
The organisation that I've seen the advertisement for are overwhelmingly Caucasian kids because that particular charity is focused on people in Australia.
Yes.
So you've also got to take into account Compassion, or the stuff that I see from Compassion is focused on the Philippines because that's where they're targeting, at least the Australian side is targeting the Philippines. All their content is Filipino
Sure.
kids.
Yeah.
Sure. I suppose
The
what
Smith family is focused on Australian kids,
Yeah.
therefore, overwhelmingly, the pictures are of white kids.
That's true. I suppose what I'm trying to say with that is not to say I'm not trying to make an argument against either of those 2 points.
Yeah.
To point out that at least from when you say poverty-stricken children, my mind goes to somewhere in Asia, somewhere in Africa, which I think
because those are the images that were being fed, and those are being
and that's what I'm
introduced.
saying
Like-
is that's what drives viewership.
No, but okay, think back to when there was the war in Ukraine.
Yep.
I
It's
mean,
still happening.
sorry, it's still
Yeah.
ongoing.
Very
But I mean,
active.
like right at the beginning of it, you would see like on Fox News, they would be saying, "These are kids that look like us. These are people that look like us."
Yeah.
You know, like so it does reveal the fact that there is a sense of otherness that these charities have created. And with that, a lot of people are associating poverty with one specific race or like one specific, when it's happening to everyone. And then when it happens to little white kids, then it's like, these kids are us. You know, this could be us.
So let's make an assumption here.
So it's an us and them. Sorry. Yes, continue.
That's fine. Let's make an assumption that when we're talking about a charity that's raising money for these children, wherever they are, is doing so in a way that the money is actually getting to support those children. They're not lining their pockets, not doing any dodgy stuff. Let's assume that. Is it right or wrong to emotionally manipulate people to give to these charities, either through real photos or AI-generated photos? Is that okay?
I don't think it is. I hate to say I can understand why they would do it, but I just don't think it's right. If someone's going to want to give out of the generosity of their own heart, they should just do it, not because there's a certain emotion that's being evoked by images.
I agree with you in principle, but in practice, people need to have they need to be convicted of something to give.
But you can write the kid's story. Why do you have to exploit their faces?
A visual medium. People need to see stuff. Like reading something is entirely different to seeing something. So I'm not trying to push against what you're saying. I'm just trying to figure out like if because I agree. I don't think that there should be emotional manipulation. But as Jay has already said, that's advertisement, and unfortunately, charities need to advertise their purpose, and they do that through getting eyeballs on ads, which is very confronting pictures. And if you can generate those through AI without having to have a real child there, I don't think that's okay. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But the question is then how should these charities be presenting the facts about child poverty and all these terrible situations in a way that isn't ethically wrong? And that might just be a hypothetical question because I don't know if there's an actual answer to that.
I mean, ethically
Words.
wrong is, you know, different people will have different opinions on that. Because, like, I can also understand the argument of the AI-generated images is to protect the kids. Like you're saying, we're trying not to exploit these children.
But
I also understand what you're saying about, well, we're still very much exploiting the concept. I'm quite happy to say I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer.
I don't
Okay,
have
I'll
an
be
opinion
fair,
on
neither.
whether...
It's a very like broad and nuanced topic. Like there's so many areas that you could continue to go down.
What I will throw out as we finish up this topic here is that I feel like when we don't have an answer for something, the onus should always be on the individual to make sure that what you're supporting, what you're giving your money to, whatever that is something that you agree with, align with, and that you believe is doing things the right way. And obviously that's going to change depending on what somebody's moral, ethical compass is. So for me as a Christian, I look at Compassion as an organization and I'm like, yep, I align with that. I see the vision and purpose in that, and I'm very happy to give my money behind that charity. So I don't think there is an answer for the question that's been raised here, Sharma.
I didn't even know I raised a question, but yes.
You raised a lot of questions. That was a very
I think
very
in keeping with
interesting
what
topic.
Sam's saying as well, if you have a problem with a certain way of things being done, try and find someone or try and find a charity or a group or something that is not doing that and support them.
Yeah.
And I'm so sick of people who sit there and say like, oh, you shouldn't give to charities because they might not be giving the money to the kids, or they might. Do your research, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Get a charity that does do what they say they do. I promise you, there are charities out there. They're not-for-profits that actually do what they say they do. And support them. Don't just sit there and go, well, I'm just not going to support anyone because I can't trust anyone.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
go
a
find
bit of a
someone to
cop-out.
trust.
Yeah.
That's just an excuse.
Yeah.
It is. Sharma, thank you for that topic. That was a heavy one to start with. But you know what? I need to sleep.
Before we proceed, and I didn't want to bring this up during the segment because it was a heavy segment. Whenever I think of those poverty ads, I always think of the Vine where it's like, what would you do if there was a child right in front of you? And then it cuts to a dude just like backhanding the kid. Like, oh!
Glad that you didn't say that in the topic.
Correct. Anyway, sleep. So, nothing to do with sleep. A little while ago, I was at the pictures.
Pictures?
Oh, I went into town to go to the picture theatre. It cost a nickel for the ticket and then a box of popcorn the size of Mount Andes. I don't know what that is. Anyway.
Jay's old woman impression is low-key.
Was that an old woman?
That wasn't an old woman.
Why would you assume his gender?
I can see him.
I can see him. He is an old woman.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, yes, I grew up with, the picture theatre. Anyway, so, went to the movies, and we were going to see something. I can't even remember what it was. And it was with a group, and we got in, and we've just gone out to dinner with this group, and then, of course, everyone's like, I need to go to the bathroom before we go sit in the movies for 2.5 hours.
Me.
Fair enough. So, I go and sit in, those massage chairs that they've got at shopping centres and stuff?
Yeah.
I go and sit in one of them. I'm sitting there for probably about 10 seconds, and then I just hear from a little speaker behind it, excuse me, if you're not going to pay for this service, you'll be ejected from the chair. Excuse me?
Did you wait to see how you would be
I
ejected?
sat in the chair until it goes, you have 30 seconds to pay for the massage. You have 10 seconds. And then the whole chair starts to lift me up and like the base of the chair starts to just like push out so that it's just a flat leather surface that I slide off onto the floor.
So funny.
It was very funny. I thoroughly enjoyed my ride. I'm like, cool. Now every time I see one of those massage chairs, if it's the right model, I'm absolutely going to sit in it and go for a fun little...
Okay, but hear
free
me
ride.
out. If you sat and like stood up every few seconds...
Yeah, but that's
I
you're
don't
sitting
know.
to rest though.
Yeah.
But
so anyway,
this
the
is
whole point of it is, and it's one of those things I'm a little bit low-key disgusted by because it's like, sure, I don't get the massage if I just sit in this chair. I'm okay with that. I just want to sit down. But they're like, no, you can't even sit in me without paying money. How dare you? We're giving you a chair and you're not allowed to sit in it. Sorry, that's a little thing.
Yeah, I was wondering
So
what
there's
this
a
has to do
mob-
with your topic, mate. I was like, hey, this is a fun anecdote from the time you went to the pictures.
The picture theatre. So there's a company called 8 Sleep.
Nice.
They sell a variety of things. The cheapest of the things that they sell is just under $3,000
Australian or US?
Australian.
Yeah, okay. So I was...
Sorry, no, just under $4,000. I apologise.
I really wanted one of their stuff because I was like, I don't like sleeping hot, and
Yeah.
they have like cooling stuff for their beds.
Yeah.
And then I saw the price. I was like, no, I'm not spending that.
Honestly, it seems like a really cool... So it's basically just like AI. It tracks your temperature and lowers or raises the temperature of the bed accordingly so that you can get a comfortable night's sleep.
So to
They
clarify,
do-
this is a thing that you buy and you put on your bed.
Depends. So you can get the I don't want to turn this into an advertisement for the company. You can get one that's basically just a mattress cover, and all it does is, or it just says previous generation technology here. I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing that's heating and cooling.
Okay.
And it also does certain level of sleep tracking as well.
Okay.
Then the model up is also just a cover, but it's cooling and heating on both sides, health tracking, vibration, and thermal alarm. So I've actually seen stuff like this where rather than just the loud alarm going off next to your bedside table, the bed gently vibrates to wake you up.
Oh, I thought it was like if you're having a seizure. it would
I
tell
don't
you.
like
Yeah.
that.
Actually, that might be it. Maybe thermal alarm. Maybe that's not it at all. Maybe I should have done more research
Yeah,
before
maybe,
I started
yeah,
hawking
but
this product.
but
I don't want to hawk the product. We're moving on.
As you're doing
And then-
research, I want to know that because I remember when I was a kid and we had like I used to wet the bed as we all did. Don't look at me funny, guys. And
I didn't.
Yeah, no, you absolutely did.
No, I didn't.
Sure, righto. Okay, Sam's revealing something personal about himself. Anyway, for
I wet your bed, Sam.
Oh, it was
Sorry, it was
Jay.
me.
No, there was a thing that you could put on the mattress that had like 2 conductors in it, and then when it got wet, it completed the circuit, and then this massive alarm box just went off in the middle of the night to wake you up, to be like, you wet the bed! Get up! You wet the bed! I was just wondering, does this do that?
I hope not.
That's such a niche experience, I think. Only you wet the bed.
That is not true! That is not
I
true.
didn't.
Yeah, you probably don't remember it. Anyway, sorry, Jay, going back to...
So, the point that I was getting to before I got distracted looking up what the heck a thermal alarm was, the Ultra Pod 5 Ultra has a base. And so, again, this is for the low. This is listed as the best value product at the low price of $6,500.
Whoa.
It's the cover, so it does the cooling, heating, sleep tracking, thermal and sound alarm, blah, 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 back pressure relief. But it also physically like inclines and declines your bed for you so that you can like shift it, have a more comfortable sleeping position. Like hospital beds.
Yeah, my stepdad has one of those because he's a quadriplegic. So his bed, he doesn't have the cooling thing, but he has a thing that moves it around to sit up and stuff.
Sounds like you need to upgrade his bed, getting some cooling as well.
We can't feel half of it anyway, so.
Oh, that's terrible. I was about to ask who would need that, but there we go.
Lots of people.
I did stay at my aunt and uncle's place when they were on holiday, and he's got, because he was going through treatment, and yeah, he's got a bed that helps him get out of it as well, and it's also very comfortable.
Oh, I didn't mean the up and down. I mean all the heating stuff.
This
The
is
heating
all
and the
cool.
cooling is, I would love that, but it's very expensive.
8 Sleep
So-
definitely didn't get a free promo then.
Correct.
So what's going on with this?
The thing that I don't like about it is the fact that you're paying, again, $6,000 more than for this fancy bed incline thing, and then you have to pay another $25 a month for the standard plan, or
a subscription
up
for your
to
bed.
a subscription for your bed, and up to $50 a month for the the elite plan.
So what happens if you don't pay? It's just a normal bed?
Well, allegedly, I haven't actually gotten any hard evidence on this, but allegedly, the bed will incline to the point that you can't sleep in it anymore. And just fold up on you if you haven't paid for the bed, which is what reminded me of the massage chair at the picture theatre.
I thought you were making a little jokey joke.
That's terrible.
No, that was the segue.
What?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's horrible.
So
But
beds-
all this, like, okay, if you don't pay for your bed and it inclines on you, go pay for your $50 a month to be able to sleep in your own bed. Absurd. I just want to get that one out there. That's ridiculous. But what happens if you have been paying for your bed, but the bed doesn't know because it can't contact the subscription service anymore?
I would like to say that the bed would continue to function as a bed.
What happens if Sam wets the bed?
That's what the sound alarm is.
Does anyone hear it?
It's the thermal alarm, actually, when it detects too much warmth.
I feel like I have overshared today.
So, a couple of weeks ago, actually, October has been a very spooky month for cloud providers. There's been lots of outages last month. But specifically, this particular brand of smart bed hosts all of their stuff in Amazon Web Services, which had a major outage a couple of weeks ago. And so what was happening, most things will just stop working, right? If you've got a Ring doorbell, you press it, nothing happens because it can't connect to the internet anymore, or it can't connect back to its service center anymore.
yeah.
With these beds, what was happening is that they would reset themselves. And so suddenly people's beds were soaring up to 42 degrees Celsius.
Stop it.
That's absurd.
In the middle of winter, at least?
No, it wouldn't
Well,
matter.
this was last month, so it was, spring for us, fall for them.
Yeah.
Still probably
Too
autumn
hot.
for them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait, Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Well, this is 110 Fahrenheit.
Oh,
but
that's
I know that the
awful.
bed. I haven't done the calculations because I don't care about freedom units. But I know
For all
that
of our
it
American
can go up
listeners.
to 42 degrees Celsius.
That's gross. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Why would you want a bed 42 degrees?
Yeah, it's absurd.
Oh.
Some people, their bed either became stuck at the extreme incline and they couldn't put it into sleep mode, or it suddenly went into incline mode. And so, yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, it's cloud hosted, it's always on, it's highly available. Well, what happens when it's not?
Why get a smart bed? Just have a regular...
I mean, that's my
You know
question.
what? No, we've actually just discussed why. Let me just keep my mouth shut.
Sorry, the only reason to get a smart bed is not because I wet the bed. I haven't wet the bed in years. This is not true.
I'm going to call your wife and find out how often you wet the bed.
Please don't. She has to change it daily.
She's sick of it. She's like, we've finally gotten the kids toilet trained. It's your turn now.
No, I don't. No, that was when I was like 4 or 5. That was like at least. No. Anyway, Jay, go on.
4 or 5.
Having a U1 teacher as a wife, yeah, there are problems with toilet training.
Thing.
And that's just her, not even the kid. No.
Sounds like
yeah.
one of these beds, Jay.
So for a little bit of context, yes, a couple of weeks ago there was an AWS outage caused by DNS, which is basically the way that web servers know what their name is and how to communicate with each other. without going into too much technical detail. Then Microsoft had a similar outage, similar cause, same kind of effect, is a whole lot of things just stopped working. But it was funny for me because I had the day off. So I was hearing and I was seeing posts about it on Reddit, just going, oh, sweet, this is amazing. But yeah, I guess you guys aren't even paying attention to me anymore, and I'm a little sad about this. You're looking at your phone.
I'm listening. It's called multitasking.
So
Don't buy smart beds is the lesson here, or at least think very hard about the technology. If you're going to buy smart technology, think very hard about how it's hosted and how it communicates back to base, because you don't want it to suddenly try to set you on fire if it can't connect to the internet anymore.
yeah, that would be bad. Yeah, no, absolutely. I wouldn't. They actually, I believe, in response to this, they did make an option to do it offline.
Yeah, so shortly after the outage, the developers then announced backup mode, which is shipping as of right this second, shortly after the major outage. But yeah, it's, again, designed so that you can still use it when the internet goes down or when it loses connection.
So then you wouldn't have to pay the $50, right?
Well, it's only if it can't get back to the licensing center, as opposed to you've stopped paying for the license, and because it's still checking to see if you paid.
So that's a common thing with licensing servers, is that you might have a computer that doesn't get connected to the internet for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Say one of our playout machines in Studio C, for example.
We wouldn't say that for anyway,
currently isn't licensed because it can't access the server.
Exactly right, but it doesn't mean that the server, like, it just stops being whatever it is. Like we actually, right now, we have a computer running Windows 11 that isn't licensed. It is licensed.
We paid for the license; it just doesn't know that.
Yeah, but it hasn't stopped being a computer. Like, it still functions.
It's now a toaster.
It's a space heater. Yeah, but the point, it's still,
it does get warm in that studio.
It does, but it still does its job. So that's good. But yeah, don't buy beds that don't buy stuff that is required.
Don't buy stuff and capitalism.
Right. Yeah. So just don't buy stuff that requires cloud connections, which is, you're going to have fun with that as you go down the route of your own networking at home.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you,
because the first thing I'm going to do is set up a dedicated VLAN for all our smart stuff and then just shut everything down.
For VLAN, for people who don't know what that is, it's a virtual LAN. So it's like inside your router.
Tron.
Hey?
Tron.
Yeah, kind of like Tron. Just imagine little Trons running around inside your router. Okay, guys, I want to talk to you about space.
The final frontier.
Yes. So do
Not the Marianas Trench?
I don't know.
Marianas Trench? Why would I be talking about the Marianas Trench?
No, I'm just saying, is that
That's
the final
a band.
frontier?
No, it's actually the deepest point in the ocean.
It's also the name of a band from Vancouver.
There you go. All right. Now I'm going to be talking
What's
about...
the name of a song of a band?
I'm going to be talking about the
Not
space
Vancouver.
outside of Earth's atmosphere and satellites and space junk. Now, the headline topic for this is that SpaceX, which is the company that does like Starlink, so satellite internet for your wherever
Elon
you
Musk?
are. Elon Musk.
Yeah.
There's Elon Musk for this episode.
Yeah.
This is something that I think is actually a really good thing. I love SpaceX is doing really cool stuff with Starlink and whatnot. Anyway, but so they currently have a buttload of
single dollar.
They have
Their finances are not good.
No, they have quite a lot of satellites in space currently. They've got plans to put a lot more in space.
It's a lot of satellites.
It is a lot of satellites. I'm going to get you to guess the numbers, but the first number that I want you to guess is currently how many pieces of space junk are orbiting Earth?
4.8 billion.
38.
Is it somewhere between 38 and 4.8 billion?
I'm going to say yes to that, but that is incredibly vast.
Like space.
Yes, okay. So, according to Google's AI overview...
Hang on, we haven't guessed. Oh, all right.
It was just
Hold on. Hit me with the AI overview. Expect me not to get grumpy that you're not just finding the answer.
Because I couldn't be bothered looking at the sources, so I'm just using the AI overview.
Oh, you're the worst, Sam.
No. I did look up the actual sources for this, but it's just easy to see it all in one spot. I know this is...
Kelly, if you're listening to this, please know that I'm physically restraining myself from hitting Sam.
So, according to AI overview, there are over 130 million fragments, smaller than 1 centimeter. About 500,000 between...
I was closer.
You both...
I mean, you're not wrong.
About 500,000 between 1 and 10 centimeters, and more than 25,000 larger
Wait, sorry.
than 10 centimeters.
How many were between 1 and 10 centimeters?
500,000.
Who's counting that?
That's a good
How do we
question.
know? Do they just get a giant net with
guesstimating.
holes that are bigger than 10 centimeters and then count the things flying through it?
Well,
And everything that gets caught in the net gets counted by someone else?
These are the problems.
How do we
Jake.
know this?
Well, there's a bunch of people. I think NASA has quite a high desire to check what's going on in space. And so they probably, shock horror, right?
No, sorry, no. I was just going to ask, what constitutes as space junk?
A satellite that is functional is not space junk. But
That didn't even answer my question.
no, I know. But I'm
what
telling you-
constitutes as a satellite? Are we counting like rocks and stuff as space junk? Because they're technically satellites. They're orbiting.
all right, okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, we're talking vast majority of the things that are space junk are old satellites, old rockets that have gone up, boosters, things like that.
So
that have
human-made pollution as
Human-
opposed to just stuff.
human-made
Okay,
pollution.
okay.
In
Oh,
space.
okay, so it's not like plastic bags.
Yes, there's all that giant island of plastic in the middle of the ocean. That's actually in space.
Guys, I've got a solution for the pollution on Earth. We'll send
solution
it
Send
to
it to
for-
space,
Send
yeah.
it to space. What could go wrong?
Okay, so currently SpaceX has the highest number of satellites in low Earth orbit, and low Earth orbit is ironically the one that has the most amount of potential to cause space junk, because anything in low Earth orbit will inevitably fall into Earth's atmosphere, and some of the time they burn up in the Earth's atmosphere and they just disintegrate into gases of lithium and cobalt and things that are really good for the upper atmosphere. It's actually terrible for it, by the way. Sometimes
I'm getting mixed signals here.
Yeah.
Is it good or bad?
it's very bad.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
If you
go on.
imagine
Very, very bad.
lithium, you know how good lithium is as a material for like batteries and phones and things like that.
Oh, the stuff that keeps catching fire randomly.
Yeah. Now,
Ah.
now imagine if you put that into Earth's upper atmosphere. That's got to be good for the planet.
Rings
right?
of fire. Hey.
Yeah, kind of like that. Anyway, so it's A, bad for the atmosphere. B, if it does make it through the atmosphere, sometimes you get large chunks of aluminium flying into people's houses because they miscalculate where these satellites are supposed to come back into the ocean.
Yes.
There is a designated spot in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean, one ocean, where it's the furthest point away from any land, and they aim satellites to go into that space in the water.
I don't like the idea of that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. And so you've got two options. It either burns up in the atmosphere. No, it's three options. Burns up in the atmosphere, it's gone. Goes into the earth and lands in the ocean or on somebody's house. That's less than ideal. That actually happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I
in
was going to
Australia.
say, I vaguely remember that happening
SpaceX
recently.
satellite broke apart and there was stuff found in central west New South Wales. Or the other option is it bounces off the Earth's atmosphere and goes back into space in low Earth orbit as space junk. And that's particularly problematic because if you imagine you're going around the Earth's atmosphere at hundreds of thousands of kilometers an hour and you hit something else,
Yeah.
it will then make that go kaboom
And then
into
you've
lots
got
of other
more
pieces.
space junk.
And then you have this chain reaction of more and more and more in space junk.
Mm.
Now, at the moment, it seems to be manageable. But SpaceX it currently has, how many do they have? About 12,000 satellites currently
Yeah.
in orbit.
That's so many satellites.
And they're upping it to close to 40,000.
That's so many more satellites.
I know. And so the question for you guys is, have you seen WALL-E?
Yes.
Wally.
Yeah, so
That one?
it really feels like we're getting close to that.
When
Yeah.
do we get the hover chairs?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That
But
would be
we'll all be
cool.
like immobile.
Eve.
I mean, we can get out of the chairs if we want to. It's just
Yeah, but
why
they-
would you? They're hover chairs.
Yeah, but they didn't, and then look at what happened to them.
Yeah, well.
That doesn't seem bad to me.
Which part-
What about a space vacuum?
Yeah, but
The space is a vacuum.
who vacuums the vacuum? Do they become the vacuum?
For all the space junk,
Yes.
they
I-
should
I
get a
feel like-
giant vacuum.
We again, this stuff is flying around, right? We just need a giant net with 10 centimeter size gaps.
The vacuum would do the exact same job.
Yeah, but that requires more effort. I'm just holding a net up in the lower, atmosphere. I don't know where that is.
How big are you?
6 foot? It's a really long pole. It's one of those big extendo poles you can buy at Bunnings. Just, pull the rope down, the net goes up.
There is a post on Reddit where apparently there's a company called ClearSpace One. Sorry, maybe not a company. Maybe that's the satellite. It's a spacecraft that's designed to remove objects from space. It's by a Swiss firm, ClearSpace. The satellite itself weighs about 112 kilos, and it can grab space junk with 4 claws. So it's like you're playing, that skill claw game.
That's not very good.
Yeah, the claw. Look, okay.
How many Disney movies are we going to reference on this one?
Not enough. Let's throw some more in. What do you guys think about space junk and putting more stuff in space so that we can have faster internet on Earth? Because also, they want to make satellites data centers.
Ew.
Which means faster internet.
We haven't quite got data set. This is like the whole 2D, 3D printing thing. We haven't got 2D printing down pat. Why are we doing 3D printing?
Because you can.
We clearly haven't gotten Earth-based data centers working. Why are we worrying about space data centers?
And then space junk.
And also space junk. What was it called? Area 7.
How many areas are there?
51.
At least 6.
What?
Was it Area 7? It was near Area 51. Anyway, the concept is there's a whole thing happening with the American military, but the climax is they have like a satellite hunting plane that flies up into space. I love that. And there's a big space battle trying to destroy, I think it's a Chinese satellite or maybe it's a Chinese plane. I don't know. Anyway, where I'm going with this is why don't we just blow them up? What could go wrong?
Space junk is what could go wrong.
More space junk, but it's smaller.
But this is actually what's going to happen with the International Space Station in, I believe, less than 10 years. It is, A, slowly decaying in terms of its functionality, and B, ever so slightly getting closer and closer to the Earth's atmosphere. And every so often they have to go push it back up into a higher orbit. But the plan is to crash it into the Earth's atmosphere and just have the whole thing destroyed. And hopefully no space junk comes from that.
I feel like I read something about, maybe it wasn't the ISS, maybe it was a different one, but there's a satellite that every now and again they have to tow it back out further into orbit so that it doesn't fall back to Earth.
Yeah, that's low Earth orbit for you.
Yeah. So I've Googled tow the ISS back out into space, and then Google's AI has slammed on my dreams going, towing it out into space isn't a concept as its trajectory is maintained by a balance between its forward velocity and Earth's gravity. Shut up, nerd.
I'm already bored. Shama,
I want to tow it back out into
That's
space.
not listening.
Yeah, me too.
Correct.
What do you think about all this, Shama?
I stopped listening. No, I'm standing by the idea of a space vacuum. I think as humans, why are we so much wanting to put stuff into space? For better Wi-Fi? Is that what you said?
Kind of. It's just, space.
That's one of the
Yeah, it's
applications.
one of the things.
But
let's just talk, Jake. Okay, there's satellite phones, there's satellite internet, there's low Earth orbit satellite internet, which is Starlink. There's GPS. There's all the military
But
stuff.
we've survived with things as they are now. Why do we need to keep putting more things up and trying to make things faster and
Because it
bigger
could
and
be
better and
and bigger.
But it's fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Says who?
Me.
Okay, sorry. Okay, did you hear that, everyone? All governments.
NASA, you can shut
Yeah,
down
Elon,
now.
take notes. I said it's fine.
No, you make a fair point, but people are just going to keep on pushing forward. That's what's it's just going to happen.
But it's like we're not thinking of the consequences because eventually
Correct.
we're going to just have a big layer of junk.
WALL-E was meant to be
It was
a fun movie.
prophetic.
Yeah, but I think it's actually a documentary from the future.
Yeah.
Documentary
They
from the
send it
future.
back in time. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They've mastered time travel.
And yet we still continue to do that. Can we do anything about this, guys?
Petition and say, no, Elon.
I don't think it's just Elon, by the way.
It's more
no,
than, yeah.
No, NASA. No.
I think that's
Shut
good.
down NASA.
No space.
No space. End space.
You
heard
know
it here
what?
first. The space vacuum is just going to absorb everything else into space.
I mean, guys, give it a couple of million years and the sun is going to explode anyway, so what does it matter?
Is it a million years? I thought it was more than
billions, probably. Anyway.
How long until sun explodes?
When Jesus comes back.
Is that metaphor?
Approximately 5 billion years,
It's
apparently.
an allegory.
It's an allegory. Very good. Okay, so we've got some time, guys.
Nah.
We've got some time. We can colonize Mars.
As long as we can do it in the next 5 billion years.
We need to stop colonizing, hey?
End colonialism.
When I say we.
What do you mean, you people?
I don't mean we.
And talking of ending stuff, it's time to end this show. Thank you, Shama, so much. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, myself. Thanks.
Thank you.
You can tell we were so ready for today, guys.
Yeah.
We're not still all exhausted from our Hopen Day that we had on the weekend.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's what that is.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Anyway,
That was a load of fun.
Yeah, it was good.
We had a whole radio channel dedicated to basically just us three. It was chaos.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yes.
It was 2 days ago. How can you forget this?
I should have sang into it.
You did several times.
Wow.
Anyway, that's all from us today. Thank you so much. We'll hear and see each other, us three, and you, the listener, will hear us on the next episode of Troubleshooting. See you later.
Bye.
Hope 1032. Thanks for listening.